I am so excited for this video, so let's get right into it. How to acclimate to prescription retinoid. This is something that I get asked all the time if I can do just a longer, slower video for my absolute beginners. So yes, absolutely. Let's get right into it. I'm gonna do this really simply, okay? As simple as I possibly can. First thing you need to know, there's retinol. That is over the counter. That's something like the Rock retinol capsules, which if you follow me on other platforms, you know I love those and I highly recommend them for beginners. They are pre-packaged little retinol capsules. I don't know anybody that hasn't been able to tolerate them, but that's a great starting point. You want to start your retinol journey, start something very gentle over the counter. Now, retinol requires 2 conversions in the skin to become retinoic acid. So it's going to be gentler. It's not going to be as effective, of course, as retinol or our prescription retinoids, but it's a great place to start. So after retinol, we're going to move up to that middle level, which is retinaldehyde. One of my favorites I have right here is the Medic 8 Crystal Retinal. I think it's fantastic. I myself use this in the winter. So this is a great step up from your over-the-counter retinol. Well, there's kind of in the middle there too. There's adapalene, which is Differengel. That used to be prescription only. We're very lucky it's not anymore. Differengel is available over the counter now for around 13 bucks. It is absolutely amazing. If you aren't ready for prescription retinoid, but maybe you want something stronger even than your retinal or your regular over-the-counter retinol, Differengel is what I always recommend. Okay, so after we have that retinol, then we have our prescription retinoids. That's our retinoic acid, our tretinoin, tazarotene, the Eclipse, the Altrinos, the compounded ones. Most people use tretinoin though, which is what I have. I use 0.05 of the cream. There's also a gel, which I think is better for acne, but it does pill a bit. So most dermatologists prescribe the cream. If you've already gone past the retinol and the retinal, and now you've got your tube of tretinoin, your dermatologist prescribed it, you have absolutely no idea how to use it or what to do with it, that's where I come in to help you. That is what I do on the internet. I help you with simple skincare along with my dermatologist. But today you get me alone, but don't worry, I know what I'm talking about. So first off, if you are a beginner, I want you to start with the sandwich method. It is exactly what it sounds like. It is sandwiching this retinoid in between moisturizers. Or for me, I really love to recommend a hydrating serum first, then your retinoid, then a moisturizer on the other end. My favorite, if you are brand new and you need a really gentle moisturizer, I always recommend Vanicream in the tub. This gallon tub is only about $15, sometimes less. It's fantastic. You can slather it on top of your retinoid and you will be just fine. So how much are we using of our retinoid? So less than a pea-sized amount, and you're going to dot it all over your face. I call this my tiny dot method. These little dots all over, and then you're going to cover with moisturizer. And then sandwich method, I love to recommend a hydrating serum beforehand. This one is great. This is the Skin 1004 Probiotica Ampule. Fantastic. This is a little fancier, but I also love this one as well, the Dermalogica Pro Collagen Banking Serum. So you would do that first. Wait a couple minutes, let your skin dry, then a half pea-sized amount, dot it all over for even application, and then you're gonna do some Vanicream right away on top, and that is called the sandwich method, and you should do that about 2 to 3 nights a week when you're acclimating to it. The other nights, you can just do your normal, serum, moisturizer, chemical exfoliant if you're on that journey, if you've started using chemical exfoliants, but 2 to 3 nights a week to start. See how your skin does with that. Light flaking in the morning is totally great. What we don't want is red, inflamed, angry skin. We don't want our skin to hurt, right? That's not the point. We're not doing this to hurt. You have to go slow. A lot of the times when people get angry and inflamed skin, it's because they used way too much. They're using it every night and they're not using the moisturizer after, and they're not using the moisturizer before. I don't think the sandwich method is really talked about enough, but it is a game changer if you are just starting your retinoid. Say you've been doing the sandwich method for a couple of weeks or months and your skin is looking really good and you tolerate it really well, what are you going to do? What's the next step? So the next step is to increase to a full pea-sized amount and decrease your moisturizer. So what I would recommend is taking away that serum or moisturizer in the beginning and putting this instead on clean, dry skin, so we don't have any sort of a barrier, right? Just put this on clean, dry skin. Again, dot it all over for even application, and then cover with Vanicream or La Roche-Posay Cicaplast I also love, or Aven Cicalfate. One of those three are usually my favorite to recommend. You would cover that up right away. No need to wait. Remember, we're still acclimating. We're still just trying to see how it works for our skin, right? So that's what I would recommend you do as your second step. So we've got the beginner sandwich method. We've got the intermediate of retinoid pea-sized amount dotted all over and moisturizer. Now, say you're like, okay, Jillian, I'm ready. I feel like I'm acclimated. My skin's doing great. Like, I'm looking good. What do we do next? So I'm going to show you what my routine is. So let me take off my makeup and I'll be right back. Good morning, friends. I say good morning because I took off my makeup last night and completely forgot about this. I just forgot. To be fair, I did move about 48 hours ago. So I'm in like an unfamiliar space. I don't know where anything is. So doing my best. I am going to act out my nighttime routine and then wash my face off for you. So I just washed my face. Vanicream, this is my night routine. Vanicream cleanser, my absolute favorite for sensitive skin. I'm whispering because my partner's asleep. And then the hydrating milky toner from Thayer's. Toner gets a really bad rap because most of our toners that we grew up with, if you're like an elder millennial like me, had alcohol in them, were very stripping and drying. That is not the toners of today. This is the most gentle, hydrating toner. Just cleans the skin, preps it for your actives. I use this twice a day, and I actually have used Thayer's toner for over 21 years, morning and night, but this milky one is newer, and it just has instantly risen to the top of my favorite toners. Highly recommend trying this out. I just do it on a cotton pad all over my face and neck, let it dry, and then move on to my actives, right? So I wash, I tone, if you tone. Next is our tretinoin, our retinoid. Okay, when you're fully acclimated to this, you're gonna take a pea-sized amount. That is all you need to cover your entire face. Now remember, again, if you follow me on other platforms, you know I talk about this a lot. If you put this entire amount, if you swipe it on your forehead, there will not be enough for the rest of your face, and you're gonna have to use more. And more doesn't mean better. More means, in this case, irritation. So we don't want to use more. We don't need to use more. This does its job. So what we do is my tiny dot method. I literally just, see, I kind of take the crook of my finger. There is more than enough. Wherever I've taken too much, I spread it out a little more. And that's it. It's going to massage in beautifully. So now, if you have any dry areas of your face, this is where you would take a little Aquaphor. I call it my Aquaphor barrier. My nose gets very, very dry, so I usually protect my nose with an Aquaphor barrier right here. This just keeps the retinoid away from it. Also, if you have microbladed eyebrows, this is where you would also protect them with an Aquaphor barrier, because retinoid does fade microblading. It fades tattoos. So we are protecting this area. We are protecting this area. If you're someone who gets dry around the mouth or around the corners of the mouth, you can protect this area too. Here, lips. This is also my lip balm at night. We massage it in, and look how easy this massage is in. It is covering every area. We do not need more than that pea-sized amount, right? It is massaging in totally easily. Stay away from the microblading, kind of almost work it into the hairline a little too, and that's it. Our retinoid is on our face. I am not irritated. I am not red. That's it. Moisturizer on top is just for irritation to the retinoid. If you don't need it, you don't need it. So I could put moisturizer on top, that's fine, but I usually just do this, no moisturizer. I am totally fine in the morning. I let the retinoid be the star. I don't put moisturizer on top, I just let it do its thing. So this is my final step. To be clear, if you need moisturizer, that is totally fine. Wait a couple minutes to let this absorb if you're totally acclimated, and then go right ahead, put whatever moisturizer you like to use on top. I would say make sure it's something that's gentle, especially if you have sensitive skin. So again, I really like Vanicream, La Roche-Posay Cicaplast, or Avène Cyclophat. They play beautifully on top of retinoid. You don't need it. I've done so many videos with my dermatologist where people are like, wait, you don't need the moisturizer on top of retinoid? No, it's just for irritation. It's to help protect your skin if you need a little help tolerating the retinoid, but I am fully acclimated. That's it. So on a night that I'm using my tretinoin, I wash my face, I tone my skin. Sometimes I do an eye cream, but then I just do tretinoin. You could also, if you're somebody that's really into skincare and say you use a peptide serum or a growth factor serum, something like that, you could put that on before the retinoid and let this be the final step. If you're somebody that's using hydroquinone, you would use this first, and hydroquinone is our last step. If you're using like muesli spot cream, that step goes on last. There's a lot of different little things we can talk about, like, you know, if you're using hydroquinone or peptide serum, or you're using a chemical exfoliant at night too. I can go into that in another video if you'd like, but this is really just using tretinoin. This video is just using tretinoin. That's it. That would be my nighttime routine. So again, remember, if you're a beginner, do the sandwich method. If you're past the sandwich method, take away the moisturizer in the beginning and just do your tretinoin and moisturizer. And then when you're a pro, just try it alone. Pea-sized amount, dot it all over. Again, if you want to add the moisturizer after, great. And if not, great. Now, if this were nighttime and I had remembered to film last night, I would just go to bed like this. But now I'm going to wash my face because we don't wear tretinoin during the daytime. Ask me all of your questions. I'm going to go back to unpacking boxes now and having some coffee. And I will see you next time. Okay, guys? Bye.